There is a sparkle in your eye that has not been there since you were a child. If you look around, you will see that very few adults still have this. The pains of life and decades of stress and bad habits have all but extinguished it. The facial glow that was ever present before adolescence has slowly faded. Every so often, however, at the rare high points in life, a person will feel this glow return for a brief moment. This may be fueled by some external stimulus, such as alcohol in a party setting, an epiphany when out beneath the stars, or a brief romantic connection with a stranger. But most cannot hold on to it when they return to daily life. There is simply not enough vital life force stored up within them to maintain this high in the natural way. It is as if the body gives them just enough of a glimpse of this state to remind them of what they once had. To remind them that it is real and did exist at one point in their life and can be found again when the decision is finally made. Quite often, those who, due to life circumstances, have unintentionally retained their life force for several days or even a week, will have felt an energy shift and a small but definite change in their mood and life perspective. It is just enough of a change for them to realize that maybe there is something to this. It is at this point that some decide it is time to embark on a longer, intentional period of semen retention. Once the decision has been made, it is not long before the initial results start to show. As the weeks go by, you notice your face becoming fresh. Your eyes become sharper and slightly moist. A slight but constant glisten is present. You feel yourself turning into something else, and others notice it too. The world becomes a different place, or rather, you are now able to see what was there all along, energetically hidden from most. You start noticing very subtle stares from strangers as you go about everyday life. Maybe someone holds your gaze a little longer than usual, other men hold the door open for you, people apologize unnecessarily. These are very subtle occurrences, but they become undeniable as the days begin to add up. People on a high energetic plane seem to recognize you from somewhere, and it shows for a split second. Throughout this journey, you watch yourself slowly budding into a flower that everyone is drawn to. This is most evident when you enter social settings. People who previously acted indifferently towards you start to compete for your attention. This feeling when you are socially floating is truly one of life's hidden joys. You become very aware that you can pick and choose who you give yourself to. You are no longer looking for attention from anyone. Social interactions become a playground. It becomes a game, seeing how you affect people and how you make them feel and act a certain way. They cannot figure you out. Your face has become so intriguing now that you don't have to rush your words, or even think deeply about what you're saying. People are far too occupied by your presence to be concerned with what is being said. To other men, you become calm and stable. Some may find you intimidating. They begin to value your opinion highly. Instead of having to try hard to convince people of opinions and points of view, you are able to say very little and have them listen intently. They see that you know something and they want it. They want to be guided. The reason you are not normally this confident is that your body and immune system are in a constant state of stress, blocking you from seeing the truth about the game of life and setting your true self free. Retention removes all the blocks and lets you see this brief game for what it really is. It lets you take the reins. People sense this about you and are drawn to it. After a short while, it becomes clear that female attraction is directly proportional to the number of days you have been retaining. This can be seen in as little as 2 to 3 weeks and becomes more and more obvious as the months go by. They know something is special about you and they want to know what it is. By not releasing, you set up an unspoken dynamic that is sensed by the feminine. You have this secret energy, you both are aware of it, and you are not going to give it away until you choose to. It is not a verbal agreement. You haven't stated it overtly. You haven't told anyone what is going on. It is not communicated on a level that can be seen, but the feminine knows. People can sense when you are no longer hungry for external validation because you are now full of self-cultivated life force. They are drawn to you like a magnet. When you are bursting with this energy, people do not need to understand why they want to be near you. It does not have to be verbally communicated or rationalized. At social gatherings, you find that you don't have to initiate interactions. People find a way to come to you. In conversation, there are no awkward moments. The correct words are always ready on your tongue, should you wish to utter them. You only say the things that need to be said. You become very comfortable with what many would call awkward silences. You are more than happy to stay in that moment. When on a long retention streak, you find you have a new bravery to give opinions that you would normally hold back on. These opinions are well trusted and valued because of the authority in your voice. In modern society, many people use alcohol and other substances to allow them temporary access to heaven on earth. They have a brief, euphoric experience for which the body then pays a steep debt that can last for days and sometimes weeks. This is due to the artificial method used. You cannot cheat the body's systems. They are temporarily freed from the burdens of human existence. But it is always short-lived. They cannot maintain this state in their day-to-day lives. With the right practice, you can reach that state and maintain it indefinitely without external assistance. Everything you need is already deep within you, and there are necessary steps that nature has built in to unlock these states. The retention timeline is different for everyone and is dependent on a number of factors. When you feel the change, you must use it. Do not let it sit there without an outlet. As you feel the internal energy ramping up, it is important to go out into the world and experience the energy exchange before it gets too much, and you succumb to the temptation to release it via a negative channel. This pressure is a good sign. It means something is happening. Keep reminding yourself of this as you progress on the journey. Seeing the world's reaction to you will reassure you greatly and push you onwards. You are reminded that this feeling far exceeds the temporary pleasure of release. But you have to experience it at the sweet spot, the place where the energy is noticeable, but not so high that you succumb to temptation. There are levels that are unlocked along the way, but you have to keep going. Most people succumb to the excitement and release just before they are about to unlock the next stage. When the urges are at their highest, this is when the next big change is about to occur. Rather than telling everyone about these changes, just be the change and let them notice. Semen retention sends energy to the people around you too. They are experiencing that energy through you. You become a source of happiness and pleasure for those around you. You become a light for them. You give them permission to be free when around you. You provide this environment for them. You need not go seeking attention while on this journey. The right people will find their way into your life.